Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A couple of things, just follow up from some of the info that y'all provided. You all have here that as of 4/16 of 2023, the total CBP prosecutorial discretion releases add up to 802,000 people. As you know, by that is when they're overwhelmed, Border Patrol will put them on the notice to report with y'all and not the notice to appear before an immigration judge. This 802,000 plus, is this fiscal year? Or is it since when?
This is since March 21, 2021. So
okay.
since they actually started using the parole ATD or notice to report. So basically, what, 25-month period?
Okay. All right. The other thing on the top 10 parole, and you mentioned that some other ICE offices don't have that type of workload. Have you, besides asking for more resources and technology and electronic signatures, have y'all moved around some of your staff or to try to, I mean, if somebody's handling a lot less than, let's say, New York City, can you move people around? Because I know we did that in some other areas. Can you look at that possibility? I mean, if you got 10 people working here, they're only handling 10 cases. You got 10 people working here, but they're handling 50 cases, as an example, then, you know, whatever you can do to move that around, that would be good.
It's typically the limiting factor is just the infrastructure. I mean, it's still the individual, even if we have somebody in Iowa, for instance, processing somebody in New York, they actually have to come and sit in the office so that we can actually talk to them and take their fingerprints and the like. So, I mean, we're like I said, we're working on a technological solution to help with this, but it's just not a matter of processing them virtually because they still need to come to an ICE office to be fingerprinted.
Yeah. Well, let's try to think outside the box as much as possible. Finally, my last question has to do with the coordination that you have with the Executive Office of Immigration Review, that is the new judges. We've been adding judges for many years. I think we started the push 2014, I believe. And right now, as you know, if you look at the current immigration judges, they're authorized at 734, but onboarded only 634. So there's still 76 currencies. They take a long time to hire judges. Same thing with almost any federal agency, the streamlining process. But the department's asking for 150 new immigration judge teams in its budget. But I noticed that your Office of Principal Legal Advisor has requested no new judges. Shouldn't we be working the same with the immigration judges so we can have a backlog? Can you tell me what efforts y'all are, why not ask for any monies to add new attorneys?
So over the last 2 fiscal years, in 23 and in 22, we have been fortunate enough to get additional funding to increase our OPLA attorneys. We currently have 341 enhancement positions on the books, and we've only hired about 144. The thought is that it was probably going to take us the rest of this fiscal year to just get through, and maybe some of next to hire the balance of the 341 enhancement positions that we've gotten over the last 2 years. And the focus in FY24 was going to be on just the facilities piece, making sure the OPLA attorneys that we actually have hired over the last 2 years actually have adequate office space in close proximity to the judges that they're going to be working, pretty close with. So that's the focus, at least in 24, is the facilities piece and the like. And I'm sure in 25 we'll probably continue our request to beef up our staff.
And finally, the work on fentanyl with Mexico, as you know, DEA is not in the best of standing with Mexico, and they emphasized that when we were there just a few weeks ago. So that means as they get the trust back in Mexico, your department has to play a big role in making sure that whether it's air cargoes or containers coming into Mexico, that we intercept that so we can stop the fentanyl from coming into the United States and mainly through ports of entry. So appreciate your help. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.